Questions for Coach. Tom Kager.
Hey, Fran. Good morning. Wanted to ask you about their guard play of Indiana. Hood-Schifino played well against you guys the first time, but he's really kind of taken off, and Galloway's really come on too. Can you talk about their play?
Yeah, they're both terrific players. And I think the beautiful thing there for them is it doesn't matter who brings it down. They both can score. They both can play the point. They both can play in the open floor. They both have size. And, they've really settled in, after Xavier Johnson got injured, it took them a little bit to just get used to playing with one another. And it's really worked well with those two guys.
Mike?
Jackson Davis, where has he come from? I mean, from where he first got in the league. This year, it seems like he's at a even higher level.
Yeah, I mean, he was a dominant player from the minute he got here, and as you would have expected, he's a good kid, so he's going to keep working and keep training and improve his game. But I think the biggest area is with his passing. He was always a dominant shot blocker, rebounder, scorer, competitor. I don't think he was a good passer when he first came in the league. He's got 98 assists right now. That is a big number. So not only is he a good passer, as we always say, he's a willing passer. And that has made great impact on the rest of their team because he's loading up his shooters. He's got good chemistry with Race. And I think, as he prepares for the next phase of his career, I think what he's really tried to do, and he's done it successfully, is kind of complete the picture, right? Just show a complete skill set.
Kenny?
Morning, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. Just on another note, wanted to get your thoughts on the women's game yesterday and just the overall weekend it was for Iowa basketball, both on the men's and women's side.
Well, I think it starts with the atmosphere in the building. Sellout crowd on Saturday, unbelievable game, great finish. Game day, ESPN, both games, and then two phenomenal teams played yesterday. I mean, just really high level basketball, and then a once in a generation player and Caitlin Clark. I mean, she hits a shot and everybody's like, yeah, of course, that's what she does. It's really hard to do what she did. Not to mention that she had 32 and 9 and 9 against one of the best teams in the country. So it was a great opportunity for the people in our state that love basketball to watch two great games, four terrific teams, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm really happy for our guys and really happy for our women's team.
Kenny?
And then jumping in about the Indiana game with someone like Jackson Davis, like you said, complete skill set as a player defensively. What do you try to do to limit his game, and then what type of effect can that have on the rest of Indiana's offense?
Well, I mean, there's only so many things you can do to a guy like him, and the thing with him is, he's a veteran guy, so it's not like you're going to come up with something ingenious that's going to confuse him. There's nothing he hasn't seen in terms of doubling, not doubling, digging and not doubling, doubling late, doubling on the catch, doubling on the bounce, force him one way, force him the other way, deny him the ball, make him play defense, change defenses. I mean, everybody does that. Everybody does all of that. And, you just have to, when it's all said and done, when you have a great player like that, you gotta make them work as best you can. You gotta make them make as many decisions as possible, and try to execute what we do.
Mike?
I obviously don't know if you watched Indiana's game at Purdue live Saturday, but from what you did see, what struck you about the way they played in that game?
I thought they played in a very difficult environment. You know, the game that they wanted to play, they kind of played at their pace. There was no panic. They played like a veteran, mature team, I thought. And anything short of that in that building, you know, you have no chance.
Kenny?
Coach, we're at a point of the year where you're playing teams for the second time. There's a lot of tape out on every team. Teams pretty much know what sets everybody is running. How difficult is it at this point of the year after year, for teams to kind of execute offensively, defensively, and kind of what separates the great teams from, you know, everybody else at this time of year?
Well, you know, I think most teams have a variety of things that they can do. So you might go from one package to another. At the end of the day, it's not what you're running, it's who's running it. And you're right, Kenny, there's a lot of tape out on everybody. So then it comes down to, can you make shots? Can you not turn the ball over? Can you rebound effectively? Can you at least execute what you're trying to run effectively and put yourself in a position, like I said Saturday when I talked to you guys, you know, we ran a lot of things coming down the stretch. Some of it worked and some of it didn't work like it's designed. So then it comes down to a player or a few players' ability to go ahead and make a play, understanding time and score, in particular the shot clock. So you're right. I mean, I think the games take on, you know, a little bit of a different feel than maybe they would earlier in the year.
David?
Fran, appreciate you taking the time. You know, Peyton Sanford earlier this season, we've talked about his struggles, but can you quantify how tough it is for a player who's struggling to get on this hot stretch that he's been on? I mean, some people say, yeah, you can snap out of it, but can you just quantify how difficult it is to be able to go from that to what he's doing now?
Yeah, I mean, his shooting is really special. And as we all know, the best shooters are supremely confident people in general. You know, he had a stretch. I mean, it was a few games and you know, the shots weren't falling and he put a little pressure on himself. He's still young. And, you know, the key for him was to keep grinding. He had the support of his coaches and his teammates. And he's got the ultimate green light. And it was just a matter of time, you know, for him. You know, I don't want to make any more about it than that. It was just a matter of time before that kid, with his skills and his ability to move without the ball, get open, play the game the right way, do more things than just shoot. And with that particular stroke that he has, it's just a matter of time.
Take a couple more if you guys have any further questions. Kenny, one more.
Coach, wanted to ask you about the team's rebounding. Been a pretty consistent rebounding team down the stretch here, ranked second in the Big Ten in offensive rebounds. Just what would you attribute the success that you've had rebounding, offensive rebounding, and how much that's impacted the team's success this year?
Well, you know, it's certainly a very important component. You know, I think every team stresses that. I think Phillips has been particularly good. You know, Chris as well. You know, Connor's been in there. Patrick got a huge one on Saturday. You know, we had a couple games there where we missed a lot of shots. So you better be aware. You better go back and get them if you're shooting a low number. And we have smart guys, and we have guys that are tough mentally, and they understand that. So I think it's something that, you know, you look at us, we're not the biggest team in the league by any means, and we've had to play small sometimes as a result of foul trouble. So, you know, we just got to grind in that way to try to make something positive happen.
Okay, seeing no further questions, we'll let you go. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.